Did you know that everyday habits could be contributing to repetitive strain injury? Hello, I'm Deborah Quilter, and I've written 2 books on repetitive strain injury, and this channel is dedicated to helping you prevent and manage RSI. RSI can affect the neck, shoulder, upper arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, fingers, and your thumb. RSI affects countless people around the world, causing pain, job loss, and limiting daily activities such as dressing, cooking, and driving. RSI can happen because of many common habits you may not realize are big risk factors for injury. So we're going to talk about how making small changes can make a big difference in protecting your health. Number 1, poor posture, especially forward head posture, where your head is positioned inches in front of your spine instead of straight on top of it. This can cause a multitude of injuries. It can damage the nerves, but it can also lead to neck and shoulder strain, mid-back pain, and poor breathing. To counteract this, sit with your shoulders wide and relaxed. You can imagine a string pulling the top of your head toward the ceiling. Make sure your monitor and phone screens are at eye level so that you're not craning your neck in order to view them. You also need to do regular postural exercise to keep your muscles strong to enable you to sit tall. Number 2, sedentary behavior. This is another big risk factor for RSI. Lack of physical activity can exacerbate RSI symptoms by reducing your flexibility and weakening supportive muscles, such as the muscles that keep you sitting up straight. A balanced exercise program focusing on both strengthening and lengthening muscles can work wonders. So focus on strengthening the postural muscles. And you don't need to lift heavy weights. In fact, that's a really bad idea. Don't start doing wrist curls. Don't squeeze rubber balls or stretch rubber bands or do anything that places strain on your hands. Number 3, pushing through pain. We've all been there, powering through pain to finish a task or meet a deadline. You think you can get away with it just this once and it won't be a problem. But continuing the offending activity when you are in pain can worsen RSI and delay recovery. Pain is your body's way of telling you something isn't right, so listen to those signals. When discomfort arises, pause, take a break, and do a productive activity that doesn't strain your hands. If you're still in pain when you come back, you should probably stop the activity for the rest of the day. 4, not taking regular breaks. Skipping breaks during repetitive tasks like typing or gaming might seem harmless, but it adds up over time. Without adequate rest, your muscles and tendons don't get the chance to recover, increasing your risk for RSI. Be sure you take mini breaks every 20 minutes or more often if you're having an active flare-up. During that time, stand up and walk around. You can even use a cute little timer like this one. It's gravity operated, so you don't have to push buttons to make it work. You just turn it over. Number 5, poor technique. How you habitually use your hands can lead to repetitive strain injury. Common habits such as resting your wrists on the desk or a wrist rest while typing or mousing leads to dorsiflexion. That's this up and down movement. It's a major risk factor for repetitive strain injury. Twisting your hands sideways when you're mousing or to reach peripheral keys leads to ulnar deviation, another major risk factor for RSI. Gripping devices such as your mouse or your phone too tightly can lead to RSI. Simply making ergonomic adjustments to your workspace cannot overcome bad habits, but do make sure that your keyboard tray is low enough so that you're not shrugging your shoulders even slightly, and keep your wrists straight while typing. Don't use wrist rests for support because they lead to bad habits such as dorsiflexion and ulnar deviation. Wrist rests can also lead to nerve compression injuries. Number 6, gaming, texting, and typing using your thumb. Texting with your thumbs using thumb-controlled gaming devices or pressing the space bar puts the thumb in an unnatural position that strains it and leads to injury. Instead, dictate to compose a text or something on the computer. If you must use your hands to send a text, use the forefinger of your opposite hand to type in the words. Avoid gaming and typing, but if you must, limit your time and take regular breaks. Number 7, using excessive force. Using too much force while you're typing or holding devices is another habit to watch out for. Many people do this unconsciously, not realizing the injury to the soft tissue that unnecessary force can cause. Use a light touch on the keyboard and avoid the mouse entirely. Number 8, using inherently dangerous tools. And this isn't actually a habit, but I'm saying it because it's so important. Even ergonomic keyboards require you to work with your elbows bent and your palms down, which strains the nerves and tendons of your arms. Using a mouse requires you to use the same fingers of the same hand hundreds of thousands of times, leading to overuse of what is usually the dominant hand in most people. Many people switch hands when they injure their dominant hand, only to injure their non-dominant hand as well. Don't make that mistake. Instead of relying entirely on mice and keyboards, use a voice dictation program. You still need to use your hands, but not nearly as much. Number 9, magical thinking. Number 1, expecting ergonomics to cure or prevent repetitive strain injury. Ergonomics can help reduce strain, but it only goes so far. It won't cure an injury once you have it, and it doesn't prevent all the other risk factors such as bad technique, using too much force, poor posture, and sheer overuse. Plenty of people with state-of-the-art workstations get injured. Number 10, magical thinking number 2, expecting RSI to go away on its own. If you have repetitive strain injury, you need to get the right diagnosis and find a physical therapist who understands how to treat repetitive strain injury and can prescribe the right exercise program for you. You also have to improve your posture, technique, pacing, and make necessary ergonomic improvements in order to cope. Consistent changes like improving your posture, exercising regularly, limiting your time at the computer and on your phone, and taking regular breaks can make a world of difference. Remember, prevention is the only cure for repetitive strain injury. Be sure to watch the video that's coming up next or linked in the details below for more great information on preventing and managing RSI. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below.